Hello, today is November 11th, and it is a Thursday, and we're almost at the end of the teaching program and I just had a conversation. I'm going to be heading to a Lebanese restaurant tonight here in Tashkent, and the conversation was about 2 to 3 minutes, and it was all in Russian. That is an incredibly nice feeling because a month ago I would have understood nothing of that conversation, and I was able to arrange for 4 people to reserve this evening, and I chose the terrace because it's more beautiful for sitting there. It's a restaurant called 1992, and it just felt really good. So I have to share that moment because, it's like language in action and it's language in use. And hopefully I can do that in Uzbek eventually too. I want to keep learning. I want to do 100 words a month. So if it's 30 days in a month, that would be 3 words a day. 3 in Uzbek, could be also 3 in Russian. We'll figure it out. So 50 and 50 for each language. Seems doable. I have to start getting my lists. I wanted to just give that update. It's pretty exciting. I also wanted to share some of these beautiful foldables that teachers have been making. What we've done with foldables is you take a sheet of paper, right? And you actually take 4 sheets of paper and you fold them, and then you combine them so that once they're folded over, they are basically pages in a book. And we've had different topics that people are writing on, and this is what you do. You open it up. Oh, I want to learn about multiple intelligence. This is what you do. There's a definition and an example. Really nice. Collaborative learning, definition, and example. And this is what the assignment was for this module that we did, and I really enjoyed it. And I've created a unique way of giving their assignments back with a rubric, which is already pre-made. But we were learning about assessments, and it's really, I could say it's very cultural. How you assess, what you assess, when you assess, and how you use that assessment for your instruction is very cultural. So different cultures do it in different ways. So a couple of times people have been talking about something called self-assessment. So what I did was I created a checklist of key things that teachers could use to assess themselves if they have done this assignment properly, such as 1, I can write complete sentences. Did they do that? Yes or no? 2, I can use transitional words such as for example. You just saw it being done here with all the examples, because one of the main things that I've been encouraging for all teachers in my program is to give examples that are contextually relevant. Don't just write for me as a teacher, write for your students, think of them. And then also including details from the main points or teaching sections of our module. And the last one, giving examples of plans of ways to use information. So that is an example of self-assessment that I just wanted to share. And then people can give themselves a grade based on what they think they did. And I guess it's actually self-evaluation. An assessment would mean you're giving a grade. So it could be self-evaluation if there's no grade. But one thing I'd like to do in my writing, or one thing I did great in my writing was whatever they did. Next time I'll make my writing better by, and they'd have to give a specific example of how. And then I created something with speech bubbles. What you see here, they are speech bubbles. These are things that we can use for peer feedback. This is something that teachers say a lot. They say, I want to use peer feedback. I want to use peer feedback. Well, you could do it through writing, could do it through speaking. What's nice about it through writing is it's there. So there's certain phrases that teachers can use, such as the best part is, or the best part of this assignment, was this, whatever it was. And, I found it interesting when you wrote this. And that's for sort of praising, giving good feedback. And you can also give something that are called polishes, which are basically things they can do better. And a phrase you can use for that, this could be even better if, or maybe next time you can try to. Those phrases help us to give each other feedback. Well, I like how you wrote this, but maybe you need more examples. And finally, a question that someone has about someone else's work. So this is the final third way of doing it, a sort of feedback approach in the classroom. So I just wanted to share those 3 ways because we have teachers assessing, right, formally, giving a formative grade on a rubric. That's one way. The other way is self-assessing. What do you think you did? How did you do it? Give examples, check off on a checklist. And the third way is peer feedback. And we're going to practice using these today when I give back the assignments, but there are 3 approaches to giving, doing assessments and also making it so that students are in charge of the experience. I remember I was in a school a couple of years ago where we had student-led conferences where students would show their portfolio, and I think I should explain this to the teachers, and they would be responsible for explaining what they learned, and parents would be there and they'd have to present it. And I think it's something I can even explain to the teachers here. There's a whole approach to it that allows teachers to support students in their reflection, because if they didn't do certain things, it shouldn't be the teacher always telling them. They can become aware and own that experience. So that's where I'm at, and I'm excited about it. I'm working presently on the next module here, the next assignment about assessment. People are creating assessments, and I'm checking out how they did it. And that's my updates. I'm getting really very involved in ping pong, hopefully getting a better racket. I learned how to serve on another topic in a really, how can we say this, in a way that it'll be hard for people to return. So I'm hopefully spending, 3 to 4 hours a week playing ping pong. So that's good, maybe even 5. And still want to do things with music. Slowly but surely I will. And continue to do things I'm passionate about. Also will give this update that I did run a 10 kilometers in 48 minutes and 53 seconds. I was interviewed in 2 or 3 different TV stations. I didn't see them, but someone said they saw me on the TV in Samarkand. So that was good news. And it was just great hanging out with other teachers, spending time relaxing, doing things I love, like sports. And Ragistan is just a beautiful complex of, I guess you could say it's a sort of university, or it was a place of study, religious meaning, and it also had cultural and academic meaning, and it's just a beautiful place that I highly encourage people to visit. And I stayed with a family in a sort of, it wasn't Airbnb, it was more of a bed and breakfast, and they had food there, and they were very friendly. It was cold, it was really cold, but I love the cold. And they were Tajik, a lot of people in Samarkand are Tajik. And that's my update so far, so thank you, and I can't wait to give you more very soon.